Hey everybody, how's it going? We got Dave here, Jason. We're
Hello.
another episode.
Yeah.
With no class. Couple friends with
No friends with no class.
So we get a kind of a weird one today. And we're going off on this. Season 1 is a bunch of just. First of season 1 is more or less us just finding out what we're doing at the same time.
Yeah.
And we're having fun with it. So I think the pinnacle theme was the first season. We're not done with the first season, but the following theme as of now is college life, and life from home. And the adjustment of it. So, one interesting thing about college life, especially the University of New Haven. So I think I'm saying New Haven differently now since I've got here. So people say New Haven, like Haven's got the height.
Yeah.
And we just say University of New Haven. It's just one sentence. You know what I mean? There's no like.
To each your own.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for the season finale.
Yeah, where we decide if it's New Haven or New Haven.
Season finale, episode 10. Accents.
Right, exactly.
That's what we do. We have a basic list of what we're doing now.
We do. We have a rundown of. We have a list of shows that we said we could do. So our season finale, which will eventually come, is before Thanksgiving at some time. Is our accents. Now Jason somehow grew up like 10 miles from me, and I have a much heavier Boston accent than he does. And Nacho has a very heavy Hispanic accent at times, because Nacho is, and this might be a plot twist, Hispanic.
What?
Wow. Just figured that out the other day. You know, his last name's Fuentes, his first name is Ignacio. We didn't know that. I thought he was. I just thought he was from freaking Belgium, but that's okay.
My feeling for accents, what I was kind of thinking about doing, is kind of just like, we get like a, I don't know, do a quick Google search, find a series of words that like, what words sound like a Boston accent? And we'll, so like essentially it's like probably just be like me and you going back and forth going clam chowder, you know.
Yep.
Lobster.
We're gonna say the towns. We're gonna do towns from Massachusetts. You guys have it. Anybody who listens to this, go look up words in Massachusetts. Here's a fun part for us. Try and go spell some towns. Ready? Try and spell Tewksbury. Try and spell Worcester. Try and spell Stoughton. Try and spell Chatham. Chatham you can spell pretty easily actually. Try and spell Gloucester. Did I say Gloucester? I don't think I said.
You did not. No.
Gloucester, Pepperell, Haverhill.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So we're going through that. I have a feeling like. I mean, the only accents I can think of off the top of my head currently is like, the Boston accent. A lot of people in the group use the British accent occasionally, so we can dive into that.
That's
I think we can find like a phonetics website that would be like, how to speak a British accent. You're like, read it out like phonetically.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, tea and crumpets, fish fingers and custard,
That's pretty funny.
Anyway, that's not even closer. Whatever. I mean, I'll take a little bit of research. I'm supposed to sit in a circle and just like do accents for an hour. I also had another fun idea to play. I found this like collaborative game thing that I'll show you quickly afterward that could use in a podcast. I was thinking if we ever had Bo on, Bo might enjoy playing with the sound board game.
Producer Bo Wong.
Yeah, and that's even one that we don't even have to like. If people don't want to be on the podcast audio style, we can just be like, all right, we're going to open up this it's a website based thing. So we'll open up this little lobby code thing. Let you know, you can hop in, we can just jam for, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that might be surprise episode 11 if it happens.
Bonus episode.
Bonus episode.
So we have in the docket today,
Mm-hmm.
we have fraternities, and honorary mention to sororities. The University of New Haven does not have sororities. Do you know why they don't have sororities?
I do not.
Do you want to know why?
Sure.
In the state of Connecticut, it is legal to have more than 20 women living in a house together. As like one collective group.
It's interesting.
Because those are considered brothels.
Oh, okay.
That's an actual law. That is a real thing, and I'm going to look it up right now while I'm talking because I remember reading it. We were talking about it in my CJ class. Shout out to Professor Maxwell. So, oh my god, I gotta fucking look this up. Connecticut brothel laws. I sure as fucking hope that they don't look at my search history. Women living in... So basically, is any all-female housing considered a brothel? Yes. It's just blatantly what the law books. It's what Blue Book law. A Blue Book law is a law that you have from 1800s that was applicable back then. Like, you can't circumcise your horse. Something stupid like that. Or like you can't eat a sandwich on.
Oh my gosh.
On the Amtrak. That door just literally opened.
Yes, it did. What we gotta do? Okay, I just can't put another one. All right, might kick it up to 11 or 12 episodes in this season because we found 2 more good ideas. Or we could save it for season 2.
Yeah.
We could do a little jam session one,
Sure.
and we could discuss stupid laws.
So many stupid laws in Connecticut.
It's like you can't. I forget what state it is. I'm gonna say Florida.
Yeah.
A woman cannot skydive on a Sunday.
What? I want to know, like, so...
I can look it up.
I'm a huge political nerd, you all know that. So I, like, firmly believe that these, like, stupid laws that just pop up out of nowhere, like, you can't... In Massachusetts, it's illegal to sing the national... or dance to the national anthem. Okay? Fucking dumb, but cool, okay.
It is Florida.
It's Florida?
In Florida, a single woman cannot parachute on Sundays.
So stupid.
Depending on how long we're talking about fraternities, like, here, maybe we could even toss stupid laws in at the end of this one.
Yeah.
Seems like it kind of hooks up.
Oh, you're gonna fucking laugh at me, Jason. I looked up 7 weird laws that are actually enforced. Guess what the number 1 was?
What is that?
Enjoying an alcoholic drink while standing, but guess what town it is? It's right near us.
It's in,
Closer to the city.
like Meriden.
It's Woburn. Woburn, Massachusetts.
Oh, Massachusetts. I thought you meant like we were close to here.
Oh,
Like, no.
oh,
Like we were in the city. What are you?
Yeah, my bad.
No, it's okay.
Can't
Drink while standing.
Can't drink while standing in Woburn, and apparently it's actually enforced.
Does that mean you need to have one of those chairs we talked about last podcast?
Yeah, you have to go like sitting. You're gonna have to be sitting down with a drink.
A podcast that, as of recording right now, has not been released.
It's true.
But it will be released by the time this one's released, so we can talk about podcasts in the future.
It's true. That's true. We can talk it in the future since the people have no idea what we're talking about, but it's still funny to us.
We record these 1 week in advance, so we have 1 week if we're just feeling awful in the morning not record the podcast. But then we have to record the next week.
Exactly.
In the beginning, we recorded them in 2s. I think I mentioned that. Now it's just like, right, we're caught up.
Yeah. Now
we just record them in 2s.
Living in the dream. Yeah, it goes, Woburn simply won't tolerate vertical intoxication. According to the city's license commission. The city's licensing commission says no restaurant is allowed to serve an alcoholic beverage to a person who isn't seated. Patrons are not permitted to carry booze or consume it unless they're firmly rooted to a chair. Exceptions are made for businesses that are granted a special approved standing license. Do you imagine going to the restaurant or going to the city, like a town hall, like, hey, how are you? I'm from Ben's Beer Emporium. I would like to apply for an approved standing license. What? What the fuck, man? I also want to know the cop that comes in and is like, hey, sit down. Like, what?
I'm actually just really tall. Oh, sorry. It's like I'm sitting down. I am sitting down.
I'm just 6'5". What do you want from me, man? I mean, I'm just.
It's a high chair.
That's so. I mean, I guess the logic relatively makes sense, and that's not also anything to do with the podcast today.
No, it's not.
We are way off topic.
Oh yeah.
We're talking about another episode in an episode not designed.
I mean, depending on how the time is when we finish our fraternity talk points.
We can go back.
We can come back to this. We gotta finish the actual title of the podcast before we start talking something else. We burned 8.5 minutes approximately just
doing nothing about what you were saying.
Yeah. Anyway, fraternities.
So you cannot have sorority in the state of Connecticut because you cannot have more than 20 women living collectively in the same house for the same reason. Apartment buildings obviously don't apply. People who work together obviously no. 2 exceptions: 1, military, National Guard, police, anything of that quasi-military nature, and 2, I can't believe this is an actual thing. I'm reading it as we speak. Orphanages. With 2 exceptions of the orphanages. There has to be 1 male instructor per orphan. Or not per orphan, per number, some ratio. It says per ratio. Which is fucking weird. So, either way. State of Connecticut, no sororities. Fun fact. Maybe Yukon probably does, like the big ones.
Yeah.
Yukon and Sacred Heart definitely do. But we do not. We have fraternities. Now, fraternities are usually just men, okay? Fraternities on campus here are actually I can't say bisexual, can I? Fraternities do not in themselves have sexual relations. That is not possible. But the fraternities themselves are unisexual. Co-ed, I guess is what I'm looking for. So, quite frankly, everybody goes to these frats. Last night, we had a fucking frat takeover in the quad. That was pretty weird. And it wasn't even like the stereotypical frat party. You ever see Animal House?
No, I've heard deeply about it, but I don't think I've seen it myself.
We gotta watch Jason.
We do.
We have. That's a stereotypical college movie. It's also like from the 60s and 70s.
Interesting.
Good fucking shit. Good movie. It wasn't like an Animal House party where they're all like, woo, like throwing people out window. They're literally sitting there like listening to music, everybody's walking around on their phone, like, like who gives a fuck?
They did some chalk art on the sidewalk.
They did. They put flags in the sidewalk, which is kind of cool. Me and Bo were taking guesses this morning at countries. Then we realized that about 20 minutes in that Narnia is not a country. And I had lost that bet pretty heavily already. I also had a lot of fun yesterday too, so that was kind of like, that contributed to it, which is not admission of guilt. So we had this idea a few weeks ago, which really got us the idea for the podcast, for this podcast episode, from Hannah. So she producer Hannah and Jackie from way back in episode 2.
4, I think.
Episode 4, wow, we have fucking episodes.
I mean, they were in Ghosts.
They were in Ghosts.
Episode 2 was Weather.
They were in Ghosts in the second half of Conspiracy Theories.
They were, yeah. Right at the end, they came at because that's when we were recording them in 2s. So they came at the end of Conspiracy Theories, which was 3, and then they were there for Ghost, which was 4.
Yeah, so they were here for that. Hannah.
See all episodes.
Hannah Losman.
Confirming what I'm talking about. Yeah, Conspiracy Theories, Ghost. Yeah.
Special shout out to Hannah. So Hannah actually had the idea. Hannah's got an argument. Hannah is the jokester of the group. She walks around and makes every meme
What?
that we don't understand. What's up?
Something just fell off of somewhere. What just moved?
Jason, I think you've seen things, kid.
No, I heard it. I heard something go.
The
Like.
door just opened.
Oh, the door's open? That was probably what it was.
No,
I thought.
it just opened now after you.
Okay, I thought it came from behind me. We should have manifested ghosts!
It's gonna be his trash.
But like his trash is this Leaning Tower of Pisa. Look at this thing.
I
Nothing
know,
fell
I've
off of
seen
that.
It's been sitting there like literally since we moved in.
Anyway, let's get away from the ghost topic.
Yeah, we're gonna move on.
Before we die. Surprise, this is actually the season finale. We are going to be dead after this.
I'm doing things. Oh my god, fucking crazy. So, we have frats. The frats are pretty much universal on campus. Yeah, it wasn't the typical frat crazy thing. So, pretty much, how frats work on campus is they try and go out. New Haven is very strict on what you can and cannot do on campus. It's not like they put you at gunpoint, but it's like they make it very clear that they have a no tolerance policy, which is fine. Good luck to them. I mean, it makes sense, you know. So they have these frats, and the frats here are not party animals. But I will say, and I will not name names for the sake of death, because I don't want to be prematurely killed.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain clubs on campus that have alternative interior clubs. So like, I'm going to make this up, don't think it's a real thing, anybody from administration. There is a thing called, let's say, the bed making club, okay? And then they're going to have like a subdivision of the club, like the committee on sheet folding, you know? And that committee on sheet folding, which meets after the meeting, is just an absolute excuse to get shit-faced. So that's more of a stereotypical fraternity. Fraternities on campus are pretty good charity-wise. That's a big motive. Jason, you're the marching band.
I am.
So do you know marching band has its own fraternity?
And we have an art society, like the Music Art Society, Kappa Kappa Psi.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh yeah.
Kappa Kappa Psi. So I looked at it the other day. Kappa Kappa Psi. There's Kappa Kappa Psi and there's Kappa Kappa Gamma. Kappa Kappa Gamma is, first off, who the fuck said Greek? Like, who said we're gonna go with the Greeks? I just had a random thought about 10 minutes
Where do
ago.
fraternities or originate? I can look it up. Go ahead. You keep doing your thing. I'll look up a thing and then happen after your thing. I ask questions.
The original, I'm not so sure about the history of fraternities, but I do know that.
Well, I'll get it. You keep talking about what you were talking about.
I had a thought like 20 minutes ago that these blue book laws people come up with is, in my opinion, you have these crackhead politicians that sit in rooms like, we need to pass this bill. Fine, you want to pass this bill? We're going to make it illegal to eat cheese on a Tuesday in Narragansett. What? Like, I'm just convinced, like, they throw it in there to be assholes, you know what I mean? Or they, like, do it as a joke. So it's like, all right, let's pass this new, like, I'm just throwing this out there, don't cancel me. Let's pass this new abortion bill, okay? Cool. Okay, fine. And then we're going to sneak in something about how Walmarts can't carry 2% milk in towns ending with W's. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I feel like, I think it's just fucking hysterical. These people make this shit up as they go. And I'm also very political, so, like, fuck everybody at the same time. I don't know, it's fucking stupid. So, Kappa Kappa Gamma is from Monmouth. It's founded before the term sorority. It only admits women though, so it's essentially the same thing as Kappa Kappa Psi, but only women. So it's part of the National Panahellenic Conference, which is like the national fraternity organizations. So there's Kappa Kappa that, and there's Kappa Kappa that. Kappa Kappa Psi, which is huge for marching band. It's mostly music kids actually.
Yeah, the music I should say, but yeah.
Yeah, it was founded in 1919 on Thanksgiving Day in Oklahoma, which is now Oklahoma State. It used to be Oklahoma Agricultural and Mechanical, in Stillwater, Oklahoma. I actually looked at the website yesterday and looked at the founding fathers. It's an interesting thing. Most of them were marketing majors. One of them was a mechanics major, of all things. And most of them played clarinet or the French horn.
Yeah.
Or the concone, which I looked up as like a fucked up version of the trumpet. It's like a trumpet with more valves. It's kind of weird. So, you want to hear some famous people in Kappa Kappa Psi?
Let's do it.
You're not going to believe me. Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton was in Kappa Kappa Psi.
Saxophone.
Yeah. John Philip Sousa. John Philip Sousa.
Yeah.
William Ravelli. Count Basie. Herman Wells, the author. Composers John Williams.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
William Scroggs, who was the head of, well, he was one of the founders, but he was the head of music at Cornell and then Texas A&M. And if you don't know, Texas A&M is the world's largest marching band, 435 members. New Haven's right up there. I didn't know that.
268, yeah.
Yeah. Did you know you're in the top 10 like largest marching bands in the world?
I went to a thing in Pennsylvania last weekend.
Yeah.
And like all the marching bands were like much smaller than ours. I thought like, well, we're a large marching band, but like compared to everyone else who's like 250.
Yeah.
You know, we go out there and it's like, here's the marching band. I'm like, where's the band? It's just the color guard. I'm like, oh, look at that.
Right.
You know, I'm like, oh, but it was great. I'm not saying like, you know, we're big, you know, yeah. I'm more saying it's like a lot of other bands were small with this. They still did. It was great. It was really cool. There was one band, not to deviate, but we'll deviate coming back. This band brought out these like backdrops, these like big poster things on wheels, and the entire band stood behind them, and then like walked out in sections. So like it was like the entire band walked out like a Trojan horse. They were all hiding behind it. Then like, the color guard came out and it's like, all right, here we go. This is like an announcement. It's like this is the show, and here comes the band. Y'all float out like a clown car. Like there's a lot of people behind those things.
Really?
You couldn't see them, and then they were all like, there's a lot of people behind here.
Cool, actually.
And then at the end they come all the way back in there again. And it's like, and that was the show. Like that was kind of cool. We don't have backdrops, but no, it was really cool.
I would like to see that.
This one group, and their theme was like earth, sky, and water, and they played like all sorts of like we're like more like got like more like quick attacky songs. Theirs were like more like it's like more like orchestral.
It's just kind of weird. You don't picture marching bands being soft and slow. You picture like the da 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 like
yeah. And then one band was like, I think they were like the home team for the field we were performing on, because they played their fight song like, come on everybody, sing along, and we're like, we're from a different school. I can't. We don't know your fight song. We don't really want to be like, yay, you know. I think one of them was like, I'm trying to like, you know, ours is like, call it to action, meditate, do anything.
Can we play the University of New Haven fight song? Can I play it?
Yeah, you can find it. I'm talking while you're pulling it up.
Yeah. Here, right? I'm sorry.
But they're
the worst fight song in the history of humanity. Hate this song. Jason's having PTSD. Fucking hate this.
play that whole thing. Every time they got a touchdown.
Yeah.
We play part of it when they get we play part of it when they get a touchdown. The rest of it if they get the field goal.
You talk after the field goal. Yeah.
Yeah, we do the whole. It's.
You know what's fucking funny to me is that by the time you guys usually finish it, they're usually 4 plays later. They're usually halfway down the quarter by the time you finish the fight. So they're getting ready to put another one up. It's fucking hysterical.
That's
and then
great.
the cheerleaders should get the flag and they just run down the side. Well, that's hysterical to watch because they drop the flag, but it's fun. That is not a good fight song.
I'm trying to remember what the I'm trying to remember like what the I'm trying to remember what the what they were even called, but like their one was like yes that's our one, but theirs was like beat 'em, slash 'em, tear 'em apart. And it was like I'm like okay, like relax. We're like let's chill. I'm trying to murder people here.
Our fight song is homicidal.
Yeah, it's like but then I was thinking like, they repeat it like 5 times like beat 'em, slash 'em, tear 'em apart. It's like I'm like what? Hang on. Like first of all, it's like and then come on everybody's singing along. Like, I don't know your fight song. But then and it was like everyone was kind of doing like this clapping thing. And this one guy down in front of the microphone, he was like singing the little like that part. So he was a solo. He was doing it by himself. He's like, come on, beat him, slash him, tear him apart. And like here's like an intro. He's like, beat. It was great. It was interesting though. Give him that. Also it was also really hot that day.
Was it really? Yeah,
we had like someone from the Sky Water Space show.
Yeah.
Like they helped her off the field because like a whole bunch of people like they had like 1 or 2 people from their one. I think we had like and 2 or 3 people that like I don't think anyone entirely passed out, but some people needed some help.
They were lightheaded.
Yeah, they were lightheaded. An ambulance was there for that purpose.
You're right.
But of course because like it's like a matter of like we didn't put on our full uniform until like the very last second. Like we parked a good distance down the road because where our buses and trucks had to be. And we walked up in not full uniforms until we got to like the gate, and then we put on the full thing.
Yeah, as you're walking in.
Yeah, which is nice for like nighttime shows.
Yeah.
Or like football games in the near future when it dips down. We're done in like the beginning of November. This is gonna be like the last big month. I think we're done like by the middle of November. Marching band is in the off season.
Right.
I have our last rehearsal on the 8th November. I know. What do you mean you have a clip? No, that's not accurate, Jason. Fix your calendar. That's not what makes sense.
Yeah. So, dude, frats on campus kind of weird. So.
Anyway, yeah, that.
Yeah. You said it just kind of encompassed everything.
Yeah.
So
I did find it. The first national secret Greek letter social fraternity is considered to be Kappa Alpha Society, established in Union College in Schenectady, New York. That's a word I definitely said before, but
I've been there.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I'm familiar with the place, but I doubt it was spelled like it is on my phone.
Yeah.
On November 26th, 1825. And the reason that they use Greek letters, the main thought behind the use of Greek letters is that the fraternities and sororities have a Okay, does not say Hellenistic. It says Hellenistic.
What is Hellenistic?
What is that word, Wally? Hellenic. Oh, okay. I guess it says Helen. I don't know. Weird's a word.
Hellenic is to be Greek.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, okay. So they have a Hellenic way of thinking. The use of Greek letters started by Phi Beta Kappa, in the social fraternity today. Then a social fraternity, and today an honor society at College of William and Mary. It's like the first college.
It's a big college, yeah.
Yeah, because the first one
they
made
made
like.
Shitty college, but it's a big college.
It's an old one.
Yeah.
Because I think William and Mary started it.
I think it was exactly right. They named after Prince William and Mary.
Yeah.
Queen
or
Mary.
someone of.
Yeah.
Anyway, but.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, actually, I just looked it up already. There are 9 active chapters of Kappa Alpha.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't believe there are any of them anywhere near us. So here you go. Ready? These are the ones that are active. Schenectady, which is Union College. Hobart College, which is in Geneva, New York. University of Toronto, which is kind of interesting to me, which is, take a guess, Toronto. McGill University, which is in Quebec. University of Pennsylvania, which is in
Wisconsin.
Really?
No.
Oh, fuck, I was wrong. Damn. University of Western Ontario, which is in London, Ontario.
It's in Florida.
And then Dalhousie University, which is in Nova Scotia. So, and 90% of these were okay. Well, there was one in Williams College, which is now Mass Liberal Arts in Massachusetts, and that's gone. There was one at Wesleyan down the road here, Wesleyan University, and that's gone. They got rid of that in the 90s. They got rid of the one in Williamstown in the 80s. The last one they just got rid of, the newest one they just got rid of, I guess, was Leahy University, which is actually a very big university, very big school, big baseball school, big football school. Well, not competitive football, but like big development school. A lot of guys get drafted in baseball over there. They ended that in 2018. So it's like a recent thing. They're still kicking around, you know. A lot of them in Canada, which is interesting. But they're starting to fall out. Member-wise, they're not doing great with members.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting. Notable members. It's really few notable members. So I guess as I read through this, some interesting things to note is that fraternities are very large on campus. So in the quad, when you walk out there are stones. And each stone represents one, and these aren't all our fraternities, they're a large assortment. I think there's like 12. There's 8 stones or something like that out there. One for the fire science community, which is, I don't think this is right, Beta Phi? I don't think that's right.
I haven't got to study the stones, but I see them.
Right. I mean, I'll have to go look at it because I'm a fire science major. I'm supposed to know that. The fire science club that I've never gone to, that I'm an active member of. Some famous members of Kappa Alpha. Ian Binney, who was in the Supreme Court. It's a lot of British people that I don't give a shit about. Yeah, there's nobody I would. Gabriel Book, who was a big congressman during the Civil War. John M. Carroll, who was a 4-star general. Edward Overton was a big name during the Civil War. He was the first assassinated politician. John B. Steele was a big name during the Civil War again. Really no names that I care about. These are all asshole people that I want nothing to do with. Apparently I got an email that I have to move my car that is already parked here illegally, which is not an admission of guilt. Yeah, this is all shit I could care less about, actually. So, humbly go fuck yourself. This is a fraternity that is dying. Good luck to it. Nobody from professional baseball that I give a shit about. Clinton Wyckoff, I know. He was an All-American football player in the 1900s. Back then when it was still fucking rugby. So basically, the entirety of this podcast boils down to the idea that we wanted to start our own fraternity. Okay?
Theoretically. Not like an actual one.
Not
but
actually.
In the style of John Oliver and the Church of Perpetual Exemption,
Yes.
we're going through the things theoretically to create our own fraternity.
We are. Hannah, executive producer Hannah, or associate producer Hannah. We get so many executive producers. University of Haven Fraternities. And I spelled it completely wrong, but I could give a shit less. I spelled fraternities right, I didn't spell New Haven right. That's pretty accurate. So, let's talk about it. Hannah gave us the idea in a meme, where Hannah goes, Sugma Lickma MD. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, as a joke. And she goes, well, suck my, lick my balls. Ask Sugma Lickma MD. And I think it was Jason, maybe it was Bo, who goes, that sounds like a frat. And we're like, yeah, sure it does. And then it clicked a few seconds later. It's like, holy shit, we could make this a real frat. This could be a thing.
Theoretical real frat.
Theoretical real
That would
frat.
actually apply for a fraternity.
Theoretical real frat. There's no party life on this campus. We need to change that. Kidding. Jesus. So there is a Greek life organization on campus called the Greek Life Office. First off, I didn't know there was a Greek office. They have Alpha Phi Omega, Alpha Sigma Kappa. They have Kappa Kappa Psi, which is music majors. Interfraternity Council, which is the governing body of everything here. They have Alpha Phi Delta, which I don't really know. Oh, those are the Italians. Kappa Gamma Rho, Sigma Alpha Epsilon, which I think is a mouthful. They're huge. You see Sigma Alpha Epsilon everywhere. Fucking everywhere. Sigma Chi, which is just like criminal justice kids, kind of. They don't really give a fuck. The Multicultural Greek Council, this is true, the corazones unidos en Fraternities Epsilon Sigma Nationale Latin Sorority. Hispanic people.
Yeah. I got enough of that to understand.
Hanadab de Sigma Alpha Incorporated, CIA. So they have sororities, they don't call them sororities, they're females. No, conducted. Latino American Unidad Lambda Alpha Epsilon Fraternity Incorporated. Pi Theta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. The National Phalaneta Council recognizes the Alpha Sigma Alpha, Chi Kappa Rho, Data Phi Epsilon, Sigma 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 Phi. Why are there 4 of them? So there are obviously a shit ton on campus, okay? And I could keep going forever. But what they don't have at the very bottom of that list, Sigma Ligma MB. They don't have it.
They do not.
I'm offended. So, Sigma Ligma MB, we created logos, okay? And the first one is just a generic shield, okay? A generic shield with an A in it. I don't know what the A means. I have no idea why there's an A.
Is that an A? Like I said, the end of end of the.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck they put in there.
I know that's up.
I like the Boston College type logo, where they have it like in lines and written. That's my personal favorite. And then they've got like football teams. I don't know. That looks like something somebody Googled. I don't know. I don't like that one. I like this one. It's kind of bland. I like this one.
Make a note of which one that like you and like I'll put one of them on the podcast cover, right?
Yes.
I will, and then maybe if you wish, or I guess cut me to talk about this out of the podcast. If you don't want to do it, post the ones that you liked. We're not going to use onto the Instagram.
That's true. That's a good point. I could always do that.
So they can see the visual aid of what we were talking about.
That's a good point. People understand what we're talking about. That'd be helpful. The one I personally like is the Sigma Ligma MB, but it's in a bank. Okay.
It says SLM.
It says SLM. SLMB. So what is SLMB in Greek? Let me look up Greek letters. We're gonna go Greek letter translator. Would you believe I made it to college and I can't type? That's concerning, isn't it? So ready? We're gonna get a type in SLMB, and it came up SLMB. So SLM comes up as Gaia in Greek. Okay, Gaia. No idea what the fuck that is. We're gonna look up images. We're gonna go check out the Greek alphabet, and this just looks like somebody fucked up their license plate. No offense to any people of Greek origin who listen to this. Oh, fuck it, offense statement. Yeah, we're gonna get flagged on Spotify for saying that now. So SLMB, right? So S is Sigma. That's pretty close. Sigma, L, Lambda, Lambda, Lambda is how you pronounce it. That is the letter, Lambda. And the Greek letter is a triangle. It's an A without the hash mark in the middle of it. S is just S. Do what you may with that. S is like an E. It's like the sum sign.
Yeah.
And then MB. So M. What is M? M is. Good question. Mu, which is, and this is true. Don't be. This might be confusing. The Greek letter is also M, just the letter M, and then B is beta in B. So we have Sigma Lambda, Sigma Lambda, Mu Beta. Sigma Lambda Mu Beta.
Sounds like you're like summoning a demon right now.
Yeah, it literally sounds like some
Sigma Lambda Mu Beta.
Sigma Lambda Mu Beta. This is pretty fucking funny. I don't know if I want to type that in the chat. I type that in the search bar. So Sigma Ligma MB. So we now have the logistics of the fraternity down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's our brotherhood like?
Let's see. Like what's like our
what's our shtick?
Yeah, like like our core principle.
Yeah. Do we just go around giving guys handies all day? Is that the idea? What else do we do when you have a name of Sigma Ligma? Come on. We're based around giving a very sexual reference. I mean, I don't think that what do you think, James? What do you think?
I don't know. I had a thing, and then you said those things, and I lost my thing.
I took it away. I apologize, James.
No, it's okay. I don't know what to, yeah. Yeah. We'll go with that for an operational definition.
Yes, operational definition is a bunch of friends who sit around and make podcasts. So Sigma Lambda MB, which is effectively actually Sigma Lambda Mu Beta, which is actually very fun to say. I highly recommend people saying, I'm putting it in. Sigma Lambda Mu Beta. Ready? Sigma the fucking word English. Mu Beta. I spelled beta wrong. I don't know how. Sigma Lambda. Oh, you want to tell me that's not fucking perfect, Jason? They're waiting for us, Jason. They knew we were coming.
Yeah, the one you said was a Google picture before. Look how that framed it. That's awful.
That is terrible. It literally boils over the side of it. The one I really like is the one in Bang. There's one on the shield where it just has an S and it's guarded by it's like a royalty shield, like something you'd see in my computer, something you'd see in England. Yeah. I like it a little bit. I think it's a little much. Also,
unintentionally, the bank one? Aren't those the podcast colors?
Stop it. Pull it up. Look at this fucker. Come on. That's a nice fucking logo, too, the bank one. That might be our... Fuck me, you serious? Did you use this website to get the logo?
I used like a podcast image of it. I don't think it was that one. Maybe it was, though. I'm glad I sent her on the same track. Yeah. I made a whole bunch of podcast logos walking back the day before we recorded the first podcast. I'm like, wow, look at these logos I made.
You did? Oh my god.
I put a couple of into a class, and I was like, screenshot. I'm like, how about all these? And I'm like, nope, that's like I like one the best. And that's the one that me and I were using to this day. Maybe it's possible they're from like a similar developer.
Yeah.
But I just like how the one that you liked has the podcast colors on it.
That is fucking hysterical. The one that I like. Maybe that's why I liked it. Maybe that's like in my mind. Like, oh my god, go get it. It's been a very slow day. Nobody jokes with this.
All right. Well,
I've been on crack for a while.
That is the logo for the
That is our official non-fraternity logo. The fraternity that doesn't exist, right?
Mm-hmm. We could. I feel like that's for a different podcast too.
Yeah.
Maybe Nacho for Governor, or maybe just making podcast merch. That like all we gotta do is play one more game of TKO.
It's true.
And whip up the podcast merch or merch for Ligma Sugma MD. Sugma Ligma, whatever. Yeah. You just said it about 100 times, and I do not. Anyway, how a solid game of TKO, and then there we go. We have T-shirts.
We need a fucking T-shirt. We do.
We need a podcast T-shirt. Is what we need. We gotta make Nacho the hat, his hat with the podcast logo on it.
We do. Actually, I'd be okay with that. I'd be okay with seeing that. We do need to get him like walking around campus with it on. He could pull it off.
He could.
Nacho wears hats everywhere. So
we'll get one that kind of coins of his wardrobe.
What you want to say that again?
Like when he was in here before we started recording.
Yeah.
He was like, how about this hat? And we're like, that doesn't really go with the rest of the ensemble.
Well, that's true. He came in, he had a green hat on and black clothes and white pants. I'm like, what? Nacho, you look like a fucking like dark rainbow. Just go out there and put a regular hat on. He goes, alright, chill, fine. He goes and puts his panther hat on. The panther hat looks much better.
Yeah, I was thinking I gotta make sure the kind of one that like, probably I was thinking like logo on black.
Yes.
Anyway.
Way the fuck out there.
Yeah, so there we go. We have ideals. We have our logo.
We do. We have our logo.
So there we go. That's our fraternity. That happened to work out very well.
Yeah, it did. I'm not sure how to start a fraternity on campus. I was really curious about that.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you could find it'd be fraternity application, and then what is the name of your fraternity? How many members do you currently? I assume when starting a club in the high school, you had to have an advisor, and then a certain amount of people interested in joining and being in the club.
Right.
So I wasn't sure if you found could find that. There might be more of a thing of what did you say there's a place on campus that I didn't know this place existed, but they have all these fraternities, but you have to go through them.
Oh yeah, I think Epsilon is the one that does all the barbecues. Firestone's Club does all the Epsilon kids. Yeah, does all the maybe they do. Ooh. They do all the burgers and stuff, all the cookouts and everything. I think most of them are in Epsilon, which is SAE. Believe it or not, started in Alabama. I'm reading the website as we go. Sigma Chi, which I just don't believe that's a real fucking name. started at Miami. I'm just reading these as well.
Sure.
So there is no directive way of saying how do we start a fraternity.
Mm-hmm.
If we do start a fraternity, we're already much further ahead than 90% of the other people. They're literally hard. Ready? And the LAU, which is the Latino American Unida, has 4 members. Okay. Jornada de Sigma Lota Alpha, which is Hispanic women, have 4. Bear with me, might get a cup of coffee while I say this name. Carronzas Unididos Employer Chi Upsilon Sigma National Latin Sorority has 4 women in it. And one of them does not look like she's of Latin descent, but good luck to her. She's whiter than me, but that's fine. And there was one other one that has like 3 people in it.
So we got a good group.
We do. We have 7 people in our friend group. We'd be fine.
Yeah. So okay, so we'd figure like we have 7 people, and this is our fraternity.
Sigma Ligament D.
Ligament D. Let's rock and roll. All right. Well, there we go.
We solved it.
We did.
Yeah. Now we have
all right.
fraternity.
We do have a fraternity. Go. We'll make some t-shirts, but they'll be from TKO, so it'll be like shaky,
jagged, shitty.
Yeah.
Just should be a picture of a penis jetting through the middle of it.
Nope. All right.
It's just gonna be the what did we say it was? Sigma Lambda Mu Beta.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna be SMMUB or SMUB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make it
in Greek letters,
mm-hmm.
which I know we just did this, but I gotta find the Greek letters again. Which would be S, which is the sum of
mm-hmm.
S, L, which is A without the hash mark, M, and B. So
it's like sum.
yeah, the sum of A and B. What?
Anyway.
Yeah. But yeah.
All right.
Crazy.
We're in business, baby. Let's go.
We are. What's our first step? What's our first order of business? First meeting. Sit everybody down. Hi.
Hi.
We don't know what we're doing. So you guys get credit for. We get credit for being in a fraternity. You get credit. So I'm like, oh, you guys credits go home.
Credits go.
Get shit faced. Have fun. That's all we can do. The fraternity is based around being shit faced. Yeah. No, it's not. Please don't think I'm serious. Please don't think I'm serious.
And that is our. I keep saying every time you're like, that is our theoretical fraternity.
Theoretical podcast. Theoretical.
We did not go as far as we initially running down the Google form. No such form exists, so we made it theoretically. Good to go. All right.
You could do it.
You
could
could.
do some kind of initiation. What would our initiation be?
Don't know.
Nah, go see how many girls Nacho can pick up. If he can get more than 10 and you become friends with him, you win. If you're friends with any of the girls Nacho picks up, you end up getting induced. Yep. Fun fact. We make it work.
Then our fraternity would be huge.
Our fraternity would be massive. We like Nacho's friends. I like Nacho's. Half of Nacho's best friends with half my roommates that I don't talk to. Well, I talk to them, but I'm never there. So Nacho walks in, Nacho! Oh, hey, Dave. There we go.
All right.
Fuck you too, yeah. It's not like this is my bed or anything. Yeah, but you don't sleep in it, that's right. I usually sleep underneath Kate's bed. Not in a creepy way, okay? For those who are listening, it's I don't want to say it's consensual, but I guess that's the... Don't be dirty-minded.
It's her guest suite.
Yes. Yeah, I usually take a squishmallow and die underneath her bed. So, other than that, Jason, got anything you want to tap in there with?
Nothing on the fraternity thing. Just maybe we could run down... I'm going to look up some of those stupid laws.
Yes.
I've got one. This one kind of makes sense in my opinion.
Yep.
In Alabama, it's illegal to drive blindfolded.
Why? I would fucking hope so.
Yeah, I mean you can't just do that. Yeah. This state will help you keep the common phrase "keep your eyes on the road."
Right.
Our eyes just be wide open while driving.
Interesting. It is illegal to buy a car or a T-shirt on Sundays in Penn, Oregon County, New Jersey, or Bergen County, New Jersey, which is where Kate lives. It's illegal to buy a car, shirt, or T-shirt on Sundays. It's called the Blue Book Law, which we talked about earlier. Remnant of Puritan oversight. It remains in the books in 90% of the states. Pennsylvania and other states prohibit the sales of motor vehicles on Sundays unless it's a private transaction. They can do so by browsing a salesperson for lots. In Bergen County, New Jersey, the retail retail sale of books, clothes, furniture, and housewares against the law in Bergen County. Try to score some socks, or you might get slapped with a $250 fine.
Interesting.
That's a fuck ton of money to buy a shirt.
It is. In Arizona, it's illegal for a donkey to sleep in a bathtub.
Imagine the guy who had to do that. I'm sorry.
In the 1920s, a local dam broke, flooding a rancher's home. The rancher's donkey had become accustomed to sleeping in the bathtub, which filled with water and whisked him miles away. After working to rescue the animal, the town passed a law that prohibits donkeys from sleeping in a bathtub, though it's okay for them to stand in one.
What the fuck? That is such a weird idea.
In Arkansas, you can't honk your horn near a sandwich shop after 9 p.m.
What's the background of that?
A hangry fool, that's what it says, may be to blame for this law, but hey, most of the sandwich shops are closed in the sleepy state of Arkansas by 9 p.m. anyway. If you do feel the urge to honk after hours, you'll be disturbing the peace, and you will still be hungry. That's the description.
Hungry is the punishment. You cannot open a chain restaurant in Carmel by the Sea, California. This makes sense, actually. This is one of those small pocket cities where like you make $80 billion a year to just barely afford to live here. It's like one of those. Same thing in the Cape. You know how there's like almost no McDonald's in the Cape?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. They don't have the Dunkin' Donuts anymore. But they don't have a lot of chain restaurants. Mostly because, well, you know, come on, it's a historical thing. The oceanside city of Carmel by the Sea, best known for when Clint Eastwood was mayor of the city in the 80s,
Mm-hmm.
Has cultivated a reputation for strict ordinances. Until Eastwood had a repeal, it was illegal to sell ice cream on public streets. High heels over 2 inches are still prohibited to this day, though that law still is not enforced for good reasons, because it's fucking stupid and people there are multi-billionaires. So they can wear high heels anytime they fucking want. If you wanted to build a franchise empire there, you're out of luck. The city doesn't allow chain businesses within 1 mile radius of the city, preferring visitors frequently go to the local store. No Starbucks, no Dunkin' Donuts, no McDonald's, no Burger King, no Burger.
Interesting. In California, it's illegal to whistle for a lost canary before 7 a.m. I'm not entirely sure how this bizarre law came about, but according to California.com, the city of Berkeley, California, prohibits anyone from whistling for the lost canary in the wee hours of 7 a.m. Here's to hoping we don't lose our canaries.
What?
In Colorado, it's legal to keep a couch on your porch.
It's illegal to?
It is illegal to keep a couch on your porch. Boulder busted the University of Colorado for... Boulder being, I think, like the place, Boulder, yeah. Colorado. Boulder busted the University of Colorado for burning couches, causing a law to go into effect that keeps couches and porches mutually exclusive. The law is currently active, but the verdict is still out for whether it's actually prevented any couch bonfires.
Really? Huh. Because, like, people have couches on their porch all the time.
Oh my gosh.
What? Norton, Massachusetts?
No, I had the inside joke at a friend group where someone had said something, just, one of those, like, someone said something, it's like, it was in a context, and then you quote it out of context, and it's funny. Yeah. And it's only a pickle if it bounces.
Okay.
And then I just scroll down here and it says, in Connecticut, a pickle must be able to bounce.
Stop.
There's a law that puts Connecticut farmers in quite a pickle. In 1948, 2 men were arrested for selling pickles that were unfit for human consumption. Discussing ways to check for good pickles, officials declared that a pickle is legitimate only if it bounces. The pickle in question did not bounce, so the men were arrested and fined, and the pickles were destroyed.
What? The pickles were destroyed. They probably had some guys sit in the friggin' them and eat it. That is insane. That's a real law.
Not fit for human consumption. It's only a pickle if it bounces.
Does that mean if I buy a jar of pickles in Connecticut, it's touched the ground? It's been bounced. You know what I mean? There's definitely a guy in an assembly line somewhere around here making nothing but pickles and just goes, oh, jar of pickles. Dumps it. And it's like, oh shit, they all bounce. Good.
Something like a conveyor belt that goes like off trampoline and it goes up, and if it does not bounce, it just kind of slides off to the side.
Slides off on an open floor.
If you put that, so conveyor belt, trampoline on an angle, goes down, bounces forward, does not bounce, slides forward, and lands in a bucket. I don't know.
That's a good thought, actually.
Yeah, I don't know.
We should patent that.
The pickle bouncer.
The pickle bouncer 4?
Pickle bouncer 4.
It is...
That is our fraternity activity. We bounce pickles.
We bounce pickles? We're looking out for people. We're helping people. We're making sure they're not eating just really salty cucumbers. In Sandy Springs, Georgia, it is illegal to pick up trash too early.
How early is too early?
Let's find out. The wheezy, clinky sound of garbage collection is a necessary evil, but lawmakers in the Atlanta suburb of Sandy Springs were so annoyed with it that they declared any attempt to collect trash before 7 a.m. a violation of the city's noise ordinance. CNN reported sanitation worker Kevin McGill started his ride at 5 a.m. Last March, he was quickly slapped with a 30-day jail sentence.
Jail sentence?
They put the guy in jail. They put him in jail for picking up trash at 5. That's his job, Jason. This fucking man does nothing but clean up trash in this city. That's his job.
Respect.
And they fucking arrested him because he started at 5 a.m. and put him in. That's fucking stupid.
I mean, he's trying to do his honest work, but at the same time, like, sometimes he'll mow the lawn at this school at, like, 7:30 in the morning, and I'm like...
That's perfectly legal. This guy can't take our trash.
Right before I came here, they were running the sprinklers between us and the rec center. And I'm, like, going, like, just, like, clean flow. It's not like they were, like, being obstructed by something. And so all the sprinklers, there's, like, 8 of them on this mountain, and they're all going... And I'm like, that's, like, what is happening? There's people who stopped walking on the sidewalks to watch.
Yeah. That was early, right?
Yeah, just... Yeah.
Dude, that was...
They were just, like, all, like, super... They were misting at a very high pressure.
They were exploding.
I'm looking at the little sound wave that my little made in the podcast recording there. Anyway.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I mean...
See, this is fun to look at on the screen.
Yeah.
I should probably stop screaming into the mic, though, shouldn't I?
I mean, you're aiming for the one that's over by you.
See? There you go.
Yeah, I mean, it shows those waveforms on the screen right now, but those not, because the microphones are pointed at you. Anyway.
Right.
In Delaware, you can't sell your dog hair.
Can't say...
In Florida, legal parking fees toward animals must be paid. Sounds like Jumanji.
Wait a minute. So if I mispark my shepherd, I'm going to get a ticket?
Legal fees have to be paid for animal parking, including elephants, camels, and horses. In quaint country living, the law took effect in the 1920s when the Ringling Brothers Circus moved its winter show operations to Florida.
So I can't park my car anyways. How the fuck am I supposed to park an elephant?
When you put the parking pass on your elephant,
do I just hang
you put it on like a name tag?
It's like, hi, my name's L.
I have my parking permit.
My parking permit.
Parking permit.
Takes his nose.
It's right here.
It's right here. How are you? My license plate. Please don't look back there.
He sees. He sees the police posting. He's like, oh, gotta go.
Yeah, I can't parallel park a car. Never mind parallel parking an elephant. Can you imagine that? Like, oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Oh. What do you
This week.
Do I have elephant insurance?
No. This week, fraternities, stupid laws, and how to parallel park an elephant.
Yeah, how to parallel park. That is literally going to be the title.
It's probably going to be the As soon as I say these things during the podcast, I remember what I should title it later. Fraternities, stupid laws, and how to parallel park an elephant.
That's fucking hysterical. Parallel park an elephant. Do I get collision insurance for an elephant? Like, what do I do if I hit another elephant? What do I do if I hit a Prius?
You're expecting to run to another elephant?
You're right. That's a stupid thing. What if I hit a Fiat with that? I'll kill somebody in like a small car, like a cube car. Somebody hits me with a Prius, they drive into my elephant, I'm fucked. What am I gonna be like? Oh, sorry, bro. It's a new model. I'm just getting used to it. I didn't mean to brake check you. How do I brake check an elephant? I'm like, yo, chill out. Oh,
the elephant. I think they're holding they're holding like a bag of chips out the window, just like placing their arm. They're like, elephant. Thanks, elephant.
Run!
Go!
It's not like I can be stealthy with that. Can you imagine if cops had police elephants? Just
woo! Get him!
He's got the light on the back and the sirens. He's got my shit all over.
Actually, I couldn't think an elephant could probably make like a siren, like an ant, like a.
Whoop, whoop,
you could probably do that.
What if we train them to do that?
I made a nice waveform too.
In West Lafayette, Ohio, it is illegal to own a pet duck. An Iraqi war veteran named Darren Welker insisted on keeping over a dozen pet ducks as his residence. Welker claimed the animals helped him cope with his PTSD. CBS News reported some of them would actually occasionally take up residence on his recliner. Okay. Walker paid $50 for minor misdemeanor of keeping farm animals within village limits. Okay, so that should not be illegal in my opinion, and that's not also very explicit of like this is illegal. So fuck that. Stupid writing. But if it's a stress animal, it doesn't matter what the stress animal is. By law, they have to accept it. It's a federal law. We had a girl bring a anxiety dog with her in the class today.
Really?
Like she lives in the ELC in Bixley. She has a dog. His name is Dakota, and he sits in the classroom with us in our fire science class and just chills. It's not like he bothers anybody. There's a girl in West Side who's got a stress. What do you call it? Bearded dragon.
Really?
And she brings it around. So who fucking cares if it's not her?
I know there's a cat in Bergami.
There is a cat in Bergami. There's a cat in here too.
Really?
Yeah, there's a cat on the 3rd floor.
Interesting.
Yeah. You got one more?
I have one more. Okay. I have in Hawaii, it's illegal to place a coin in one's ear, so you can't do that little like magic trick where you're like, oh. That's
gonna be because I can see it now. Some politician was like his son was like throwing coins at him. Like, nope, fuck this, we're done. I have one more.
Wait, hang on.
Go for it.
Magic. So the same thing. Magic shows must be boring in the Rainbow State. Apparently, this strange law was enacted to protect the Kingdom of Hawaii coinage when Hawaii joined the United States in the beginning of the 20th century.
Really?
So it's like you just can't make their money disappear.
That's something else.
They're trying to prevent inflate. That one kind of makes sense. I'm looking at all the ones that I'm thinking like, oh, that one kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
I passed by in Idaho, it's illegal to sweep debris into the street. That makes sense. You want to like get glass in your tires. I mean, this one kind of makes sense. I'll say this one very briefly, and then I'll get back to you. In Illinois, it's legal for underage culinary students to drink alcohol. I think anyone who's underage should not have alcohol.
Yeah, there's a double tap on it. It's kind of dumb. My genuine opinion here is I totally forgot what I was going to say.
It's a good opinion.
It's a good opinion.
I can get behind that.
Something to do with what we're talking about. What was the second to last one you just read?
Debris in the streets.
Nope, back.
I legitimately read in Hawaii, the coin.
Hawaii. The history of Hawaii, dude. The history of Hawaii becoming a state. Very fucked up. Do you know who the first governor of Hawaii was? Don't ask why I know this. Do you know who the first governor of Hawaii was?
Who was it?
Robert Dole. Okay. Robert Dole. Does the name Dole sound familiar?
Like from like the food?
Yeah. What's big in Hawaii?
Pineapples?
Dole, fruit, pineapples. Wow. Dole was considered the first governor of Hawaii because, and this is true, he owned all the farms out there.
Mm-hmm.
He was the governor of Hawaii, so he could essentially run his business. And Harry Truman could give a fuck less, so because it's Hawaii, it's a new state. Who gives a shit? 12 people live there. You know, it's just essentially the time was all tribes. So like, fuck it, you do you, kid. Here's a sanction from the U.S. government. Have fun, do whatever you want, make millions, and he did. And Dole is the largest produced food company in the world. You know, crazy. You should watch the video. I'll send it to you. My last one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you have any more. I have the last one.
I'll do. You do one last one. I'll do one last one. We'll wrap it up.
Perfect. It is legal to dangle fake testicles from your truck in Banu, South Carolina. Okay. There's a car down here in New Haven. You go down Campbell Ave. There's a truck, and it has fake testicles on it. Every time I drive by it, you know what I want to do? Get out of the car, take it off, and throw it in the fucking windshield. Like, what is wrong with you? Does this look like Alabama? Get that shit out of here. I don't want to see fake nuts on somebody's car. That's just dumb.
Yeah.
Owing to a South Carolina law that prohibits obscene or indecent bumper stickers, 65-year-old Virginia Tice was ticketed with a $450 fine for sporting a pair of fake plastic testicles that hang from her vehicle's trailer hitch. According to the Post and Courier, Tice declined to pay and requested jury trial. That's so fucking stupid. If only Oakland's pinball enthusiasts had been more determined. Yeah, it's illegal to use a pinball machine in Oakland.
Interesting.
Did you know that?
I did not.
Oakland, California, you cannot use a pinball machine. You will not find one in the entire city. I thought that was interesting.
Okay. Right, yes, I'll do my last one. I have one that I think actually makes sense, and I'll go on my weird one because I was curious to see what the next one was. This is a list of 50, and this is number 15. In Iowa, you can't throw a brick onto the highway. Duh.
Wow, that's a fucking law?
Yes.
I thought that was pretty universal.
Yeah. However, in Indiana, it's illegal to ride a horse above 10 miles per hour. Hopefully, your horse has a speedometer. No horse shall be driven at a speed above 10 miles per hour in Indiana, due to high-speed horse races back in the day. So
What?
keep your horse below 10 miles an hour, please. That is, I think, slower than people run.
Oh, I just did a screenshot. My computer made sounds. That is slower than people run. Yeah. People walk at 3 miles an hour. So this dumb fuck, I'm very confused, man.
Okay, that says maximum. I'm like, no, that's the average. I googled average human running speed.
Yeah.
That gave me human speed maximum running.
27.6 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Usain Bolt, 2009.
Yeah, I want the average. Is running 10 miles per hour fast? If you're exercising at 10 miles per hour, you're running, not walking or jogging. The running speed is equivalent to a 6-minute mile. Which makes sense. If you're going 10 miles per hour, that's, that equates to 60 minutes. That wasn't new information. But yeah, so keep your horse,
Keep your horse under the speed limit.
Yeah.
Keep your horse at 10 miles an hour.
That's the motto of this
Can you
podcast.
imagine pulling over the horse? What's that going to be?
With your elephant?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, with the elephant.
To the gallop!
That like you clicked first. Why did I say yes and then I realized it?
I would it'd be so funny for I hear a siren coming, and it's the horse at full power reveal gallop, followed by an elephant. Just go with flashing lights.
Honey, we're getting fucked up by an elephant back here.
Go! We gotta go!
Get him! What? Like, what the fuck are we talking about? What is wrong with this?
So anyway, this has been the Fraternity Podcast.
This has been our fraternity for some fucking reason because we have nothing better to do with our time.
Fraternities, stupid laws, and how to parallel park an elephant. Hope you all enjoyed the podcast today.
Have a good one.
We'll be back again next week with we're scheduled for something else. Something else should be fun and interesting for you all to listen to. Yeah, we'll figure something out. Our podcast schedule is relative. See you guys next time.